for this course. Very soon, I'm sure there will be more than at least 70 to 80 participants in this session. We have had a long working relationship with Dr. S.M. Yahya Ibrahim there in the Karim City College in Jamshedpur. He is one of our own, an AMU alumnus from the Department of English, and for us, the face of the college. So my sincere thanks to him and his team for putting together this brilliant group. I welcome Dr. Muhammad Moiz Shams as the coordinator of the course. It will be his responsibility to manage time and to set the ball rolling for all resource persons in all the sessions. My dear participants, I'm sure you have received our timetable and you have also received our guidelines. This is a short 1-week course, just 8 working days, 2 sessions online, that too in the off working hours. This says a lot about the commitment of the UGC and the Ministry of Education for sensitizing the faculty with the aims and objectives and the transformative value of the national education policy. So we have brought them to you in this format, very easy, very simple, very doable, because we want to have on board a large number of higher education practitioners. The one single message that I want to give you in this inaugural session is that teachers are the backbone of any institution. They don't know where their impact ends, because the impact of a teacher goes up to eternity. Today, a higher education teacher is not just teaching in the classroom. We are grappling with all new methods of teaching learning. We have recently accommodated the digital and online teaching, and we are at the verges of also accommodating machine learning and artificial intelligence. We are into research, we are into outreach, community service, we are into innovation, and we are also into academic leadership. So a huge, huge mandate with us towards nation building and continuous professional development, quality enhancement, raising the standards of academic excellence happens to be integral to how we function. So thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for choosing to be with us. And thank you very much for your interest in doing this with us. We will do our best to bring the best to you. We will try that each session starts on time, and we request all of you also to start on time. We will try that your evaluations, your MCQ tests, everything takes place on time. And dear participants, we also request you to maintain a certain decorum in the classroom. Please don't unmute yourself unless you have been given a chance to speak. If you want to speak, you have to raise your hand. Also, there is a present now button here, which nobody should press, because this is only for the resource persons. Apart from that, the major responsibility of executing the proceedings of each session will be with Dr. Muhammad Moiz. So I will now open the floor for Dr. Moiz to introduce our resource person, Professor Saneem Fatima. I would have loved to introduce her myself, being my counterpart there at the Maulana Azad National Urdu University. Recently, she's also been a part of the Women Leadership Program by the UGC, taking India forward in the Viksit Bharat mandate, and Professor Fatma herself is at the helm of the affairs of organizing such courses there at this Central University in Hyderabad. And once again, participants, welcome to the Aligarh Muslim University, welcome to the UGC HRD Center, and once again to the Karim City College in Jamshedpur, from where most of our teachers are coming. My heartfelt felicitations for this step that you have taken in the interest of quality in higher education, in the interest of national education policy, orientation and sensitization. Over to you, Dr. Mohammed Moise, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Once again, good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Dr. Moise Ashraf, course coordinator of 8-day online NEP 2020 orientation and sensitization program. Uh, this program is jointly organized by IQAC Kareem City College and UGC MMTTC Aligarh Muslim University. So on behalf of these two organizations, I welcome you all to this 8 days long journey of knowledge sharing. For me, I think this is the very relevant or important topic which we have chosen, that NEP 2020 is introduced in all the states universities, but still many new things are coming up, and we are still trying to know about this, the motto of this NEP 2020. Although the basic knowledge is there, but we need to and we need to be trained, because we were teaching in a CBCS system, in a yearly system, but this is new system to cope with the current world. So I think this is a topic of most relevant in nature. Today's resource person is Professor Saneem Fatima. I welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
And today her topic is students' diversity and inclusive education. Before that, I would like to introduce her, and I was reading her profile, and it is so long that I cannot read it in 5 minutes. So some major points I would like to point out. That is her education qualification. She has done FDP IIM Ahmedabad and MBA from Osmania University, PhD from Osmania University, and she has an experience of 21 years of teaching. She has a research experience, that is, she has undertaken a major research project, and under her supervision, 5 MPhil and 5 PhD has been awarded. She has authored 2 books and many research papers. I think it is 26 research papers. She has attended 26 workshops and seminars. She has organized 9 seminars or workshops. And there is many more things that cannot be taken at this time. So I would request, ma'am, to please begin with your session, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this nice introduction, Dr. Mohammed Moise Ashraf Sahab. So, esteemed Professor Faiza Abbazi Sahiba, Dr. Mohammed Moise Ashraf Sahab, and dear participants, a very good afternoon to all of you, and a warm welcome to this session on student diversity and inclusive education. Before we talk about the theme, let us have very briefly about who we are and why are we attending this program. And friends, let me tell you, Professor Faiza, myself, and Dr. Ashraf Sahab, we are all teachers like you, but a bit senior. So this is not a typical classroom, online classroom, where I'm delivering a lecture to my students. We are counterparts associated with different educational institutions, that is higher education institutions, colleges and universities. So let us have a dialogue, an interaction. Of course, my presentation will be there, but please, as Professor Faiza told you, no multitasking. And I know you also know that we are living in an age of technologies, not just technologies, but disruptive technologies, which have not disrupted our lives, day-to-day lives, our professions and personal lives, but also the way we live. So मेरा इशारा ये मोबाइल फोन की तरफ है, इसको बिल्कुल मत छुइएगा till for at least 90 minutes. Let us be serious about it, because this is a flagship program of the Ministry of Education, Government of India, with a mission of orienting and sensitizing 15 lakh teachers across the country. And we are one among them. And also, let me remind you that you, me, all of us, we belong to a noble profession, that is the teaching profession. So maybe our disciplines are different. May I please know your disciplines? And my discipline, as Professor Ashraf has said, I'm a management and commerce teacher. May I please know from you all which disciplines you belong to? Quickly, few of you. Either you can put it in the chat box or unmute and talk quickly. Yes?
Hello, ma'am. I am from
Yes.
Computer Science Department.
Very good.
IIMT Aligarh.
Good. Anybody else? Computer science, management. Anybody from humanities? Of course, Professor Faiza from education. I don't know. From Urdu department, Simi Iqbal Sahab, thanks for sharing. Yes, anybody? You can type in the chat box also, I can see right there. Okay, computer science, English, okay, languages. So we all belong to disciplines, but then let me remind you that we are not delivering the course structure in our institutions, but we are mentors, we are facilitators, and we are role models. Okay, so gone are the days when the syllabus was given. As teachers, we used to teach, wow, very good, psychology, nice disciplines, Unani medicine. Okay, so there is a great diversity of disciplines in this group on this platform. So friends, once again, remember, we all belong to this noble profession, and we are the second largest higher education system in the world, and we are all important stakeholders there. Second largest, very recent development, but until very few days ago, we were third largest, next only to China and United States of America. Now, we have the largest education system. Our Indian diaspora are working in almost every country of the world, maybe excepting 5 or 6 countries. Similarly, it's a proud feeling that 1 among 6 software engineers in the United States is an Indian. Same is the case with medical profession. So it's not that I belong to management, somebody belongs to psychology. We are teaching only our students, but somewhere or the other, we are contributing to the development of human resources. One thing in the institution, our role is to be as role models, be facilitators, mentors to the students. Supposing any institution, a placement record is very good. Why? Because we have trained them, we have groomed them up. And similarly, we talk that so-and-so institution has got a 100% result, all first division. Why? Because the credit goes to the teachers who are putting in sincere efforts to spend time with their students, to teach them, to motivate them, to counsel them. Okay? And then coming back, we are the institutional brand builders. Whether you take the NIRF ranking, whether you take the NAC assessment, it is one criterion is exclusively teachers' publications, research publications, and citation. So we are teaching the students, contributing to institutional development, and above all, we are important stakeholders of the society and nation building. So I think it's only a reminder that we are not teachers associated with any higher education institution, but we have multiple roles to play in the society and in the country. So with this brief and coming back to the disruptive technologies, today sitting at home, thanks to the pandemic, COVID-19, wherein we were gradually getting accustomed to the online platforms. But today it has come to stay. Sitting at home, we are ordering food, Swiggy, Zomato, okay, doing mobile banking, GPay. So technology is there in everywhere. Similarly, education sector is not far away from it. You give any assignment to the students, there is ChatGPT, BART, AI. But friends, let me ask you a simple question. Whatever technology comes, maybe robotic teachers are there, but please tell me, can any technology, any disruptive technology for that matter, Ola, Uber has changed the transport industry. So the local, can it replace the teacher in the classroom? Please respond. Can it replace any technology? There is lots of information available at the click of a button, but still the students look to us. Yes, somebody has responded in the chat box. No, teacher is teacher. There is no replacement. Now, whatever technology you talk, whatever robots you talk, whatever support you talk, the teaching aids, blended learning, virtual learning, open educational resources, teacher is teacher, no technology can replace us. So we are very, very important to the students in the classroom, on campus, outside the campus, in the society, and overall nation building. Okay, so with this brief, let us come to my theme today. Of course, let me tell you, since this is the first session, I suppose in all the institutions we have seen implementing the NEP with multiple entry, multiple exit, 4-year UG program with internship and also with research so that they can do. All of you are aware. But then, still, there is so much to know about and I guess, I hope that all of you have seen the NEP document, and especially this capacity building program with 8 themes. Those 8 themes are Indian knowledge systems, higher education and society, ICT, that is information and communications technology, student diversity and inclusive education, research and development, to name a few. So let me talk about my theme today. It is student diversity and inclusive education. So my presentation will basically start with what is the importance of education and higher education. What was the scenario? Shashi Tripathi ji, please mute kar lijiyega. Shashi ji.
शशि मैम
Mr.
अपना
Shashi Tripathi.
अपना ऑफ कीजिए शशि मैम अपना स्पीकर ऑफ कीजिए प्लीज
Okay, thank you. So, I will be talking about the importance of education, a quick look at the education scenario in ancient India, today what is student diversity, and then how we have achieved that this student diversity, what are the equity measures, what happened, and then gradually we will talk about the consequences of diversity, student diversity in institutions of higher learning, and then how to address this diversity, and what exactly is inclusive education, and how we as teachers play a very, very pivotal role in bringing about inclusiveness and addressing diversity. So with this brief, I will be sharing my presentation. Let me know that. Can you see my presentation, please? Participants, please respond. Is the presentation visible?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Please, 1 or 2 of you, please, because this is an online platform and Professor Faiza and her team have taken very, very sincere efforts to arrange, not me, very good resource persons. So please interact as much as possible with them and share and learn from them. Share your experiences, because knowledge is one thing. When we share, it increases, and never think that this is a recorded session. We are connected on this Google Meet platform. So
Sure, ma'am.
let us discuss education. I quote here Nelson Mandela. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. I unquote. Friends, you all will agree with this. Through education, we understand ourselves, we understand the other human beings, the nature around us, and everything for that matter. So education gives us the power to think and understand and make a decision wherein this world will become a better place. For example, we have so many diseases, so many problems in the economy of any country. What do? We apply the knowledge, what we gain through education, and then we try to solve the solution, solve the problems. Like we have the medicines being discovered, so many inventions being done. So all this today, even AI, everything is the result of outcome of education. So it is through this powerful weapon of education that we can make the world a better place to live in. Yes, agreed, all of you? Anybody would like to say something? I think no comments, so let's move on. But then, with education, so much of importance, everybody is not so fortunate enough to access education, to join the stream of education, at least up to the school level. So now, with so much of importance, let us also talk. We are so much talking about the sustainability today. So the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. There are how many goals in all total? Sustainable Development Goals? 4. How many? 17. 17 sustainable goals. I'll quickly run through them. But then among them, SDG 4 is inclusive and equitable, that is quality education for all. And this SDG 4 is very, very important, and it also supports us in achieving all other goals. But before I share the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, when a country has joined, what are we doing towards it? let me tell you that we are here to discuss not just SDGs, but let me know from you what exactly is sustainable development. Yes, anybody? What is sustainable development? Anybody? What is sustainability? Please respond.
Something which can prevail.
Something which can prevail, and whatever natural resources we have to use them so securely and safely that they can be kept intact or usable condition for the future generations. For example, now we have done so much of intervention in
from
nature
resources for our
that we
future
are talking
generations.
of global warming, climate
Save
change.
some resources for our future generations.
Yes, save resources without being disrupted and without being polluted. Yes. So we are striving very hard to keep them very safely and securely for future generations. That is sustainable cities and sustainable communities and sustainable development. These 17 goals, let us only have a quick look. Please mute. The first one is no poverty. Ejaz Ahmed Sahab.
एजाज सर प्लीज अपना माइक ऑफ कर लें. एजाज सर.
So anyway, sorry for this interruption. So the first is, please kindly have a look, observe this, and then we will connect this to the education, quality education. So first is no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education. Once again, I'm highlighting fourth one, where we all belong to, quality education. Gender equality, clean water and sanitation. Seventh is affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure, reduce inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace, justice, and strong institutions. And the last one, very, very important, partnerships for the girls. So our country also has joined this mission in the year 2015. And then all the member states of the United Nations, they have joined in 2015. And we have the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, achievement of these 17 goals. As you see along, you will find that year-wise progress report. Okay, if you have time, you can just browse through, and then it's a good opportunity for you all to also collaborate in some of the SDG products as a researcher or a collaborator. So this is all about the SDG goals. So now let's go back to our presentation. Then let's talk, what is higher education? It is a public sphere where public matters are discussed, and students coming from different backgrounds, different languages, different disciplines, they interact through this medium of higher educational institutions, and it is here that they are the future citizens of the country, and then the society takes shape. So it's very prominent to tell here, today we are living in a globalized economy because of the extensive developments in communications and information technology. The world has become a global village. And today we are not just preparing responsible citizens of the country, but very, very responsible global citizens. So higher education is very, very important in developing collective capacities and capacity for associative learning. Gone are the days. The competition is not regional or local or national. Today, the educated graduates and the postgraduates, they have to compete with the world at large. The competition is international. Because of sitting here, you can work for any country in the world. That is remote working, what we call, or the BPO sector. So you can work anywhere. So the competition is now the skill and the talent is being given importance. So again, SDG places education at the center of efforts towards developing sustainable communities and society. We all belong to this education sector. Now, very importantly, we have talked about education and higher education, but then everybody is not fortunate enough to access higher education. But then we as human beings have believe that no one should be denied the opportunity to reach the place of acquiring higher education based on certain individual characteristics like caste, class, gender, geographic location, language, etc. So supposing in one generation, there is no importance of education realized, and there is an inequality that will be carried forwarded to future generations. And similarly, once education is there, an individual can take care of their health, their family, their neighborhood, the society, and then they can earn some income. They can either join some service or they themselves can become job creators, either job seekers or job creators. So education supports us, it empowers us. Now, with this importance of education, higher education, and those who are deprived, what are the consequences for future generations? Let us have a very brief look at the changing scenario of higher education in the country. Now, there have been massive expansion of student enrollments in higher education over the last few decades. Why so? When we look back, in olden days, we had the Gurukul system. Yes or no? We had the Gurukul system. Now, this Gurukul system, it used to be the scholars or the learners used to travel far off, leaving their palaces and then acquiring education, and meeting the guru was a right or was restricted only the elite, the kings or the elite group of people, or those who could leave the house and travel and stay there for years together. But today, what we see, the brick and mortar system of colleges and universities, that is a 10+2+3 before NEP introduction, that was not there. There was no facility for mobility of, say, for example, women students. They used to go in the forest wherever the guru or the teacher is there. So now we have been transformed to a well-established sector. So to support this sentence, let us see the website of All India Survey of Higher Education, aishe.gov.in. All of you are seeing the website? Yes?
Yes.
Please respond.
Yes, madam.
Yes. May I ask you, what is the present gross enrollment ratio?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
How much? In fact, there was a scroll, but I don't think so many of you have observed. What is the current gross enrollment ratio? Any guess? Approx? Yeah? Let me check the chat box. What is the gross enrollment ratio? Anybody? No guess?
23%, madam.
23%. Any other guess? Okay, sir. Well taken. Near about. Anybody else? So as per the All India Survey of Higher Education Report 21-22, it is 28.4. But then we have also made admissions in the year 22, 23, and 24. So we assume it to be around 28.8. Let us see. See, the GER as per 21-22 is 28.4. And the gender parity index is 1.01. And then these are some statistics. This is the latest report. We have universities, colleges, standalone institutions, 4.33 crores of students, and then the student-teacher ratio being 1:26. So these are the basic statistics. But then to understand diversity in higher education institutions, we need to discuss something more. Let us look how this massive expansion of students has, enrollment of students occurred because of some of the. Now, before we talk about the massive enrollments, so what was happening, like I told you, only the elite could afford or take up education, or no women could think of because of the constraints, travel, stay, etc., etc. But then, what is equity? Can anyone tell me? Equity?
Equity, the one who wants, ma'am, the one who give according to the need. Not
Yeah.
equally.
Seeing the situation, we are trying to supposing. What is equality then? Equality is masawat, barabari. But then to achieve that, for example, so many people were deprived for ages together to the access to higher education. So we have the Government of India reservation policy. So what policy do we apply? For example, when making recruitments in institutions, and then I'll be restricting my examples only to the higher education institutions, since we all are associated with it. So when you are doing the yearly admissions, what GOA norms, what reservation policy do we follow, please? Can anyone say? To start with, let us say, based on the economic status, that is the EWS 10%, economically weaker section reservation, OBC 27%. Any other category? Any other category? Some of the states have women reservation. Yes, some social categories like scheduled tribes, scheduled class, we have the reservation seats reserved for them. And we also have the sports and physically challenged or the differently abled students. So let us see this latest report of Ministry of Education, Department of Higher Education. So here we have three components: teachers, gross enrollment ratio, how it has changed over the years, and students enrollment. So our discussion, let us restrict to students enrollment. So let us see here. I'll quickly browse through and seek your attention in discussing further about how the changing scenario has occurred in higher education system of India. So participants, can you see 3.2.1? I'm keeping the cursor here, all of you. 3.2.1, level-wise estimated enrollment.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. So, sir, here kindly observe box number 9. These are the levels of education: doctorate, PhD, postgraduate, and the graduate. We'll restrict to this integrated and diploma. We will not talk. So let us see here what is the compounded annual growth rate for the last 5 years, starting from 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20, 20, 21, and 21, 22. So what has happened in PhD, you will see here as 1,61,412 admissions. So gradually it keeps on increasing, see 61 to 69, then 2002, and then gradually it has increased, and the CAGR is 7.1. When coming to postgraduate also, there's a gradual increase. UG also, is there an increase or decrease? Please tell me. Is there an increase? Row number 3. Yeah, participants.
Yes, it's
There is
an
a-
increment. Yes, increasing in
There is
order.
consistently it has been increasing at research level, PG level, and UG level. And let us see, this is the overall enrollment. Let us talk about the female enrollment. Because I told you in some of the states, there is also women reservation. So let us see with reservation or without reservation, how the female enrollment has increased over the years. Now see, it has increased to 2.07 crore in 21-22 from 2.01 crore in 2021, just in 1 year. So similarly, you can see figure number 47. I'll take you right there. So this is figure 47. Growth in female enrollment during 17 to 18. What do you observe? There's a steady increase. Yes? Then
Yes.
let us come to the social category-wise enrollment. So even in the social category-wise enrollment, the total enrollment, it has gone up. And the female enrollment also gone up. Let us see the ST category also. So total enrollment has gone up, figure 50 and figure 51, the female enrollment, there's a steady increase. Okay, even in the same is the case with OBC category. See, this 2021 slight dip you are seeing because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, so let us not go much in detail. So what do you observe now? What do you observe? That an example of last 5 years, there has been a steady increase in enrollments overall, social category wise, and then gender wise also. These are the few categories of or components of student diversity. So is it clear from this website to all of you how there have been massive expansion in student enrollments in higher education over the last few decades? I think all of you are convinced. Now, like I told you in the beginning of my talk, we are the world's second largest higher education system, comprising of 56,000 institutions, admitting 43 million, and they are taught by 1.5 million teachers. So this is the today's scenario. But let us have a look at ancient India. What was the scenario at that time? We did have world-class institutions in ancient India, such as Takshashila, which is also called Takshala University, Nalanda, Vikramshila, which set the highest standards of multidisciplinary teaching and research. And they hosted scholars from across backgrounds and countries. Now, NEP talks about multidisciplinary teaching and research. This is not new to us. We have drawn this from our Indian knowledge systems, where we did have multidisciplinary teaching and research, which further we will see. And we did hosted scholars from across. The foreign students coming to our institutions, it's not a new concept, but even in ancient India, we had Chinese and scholars from various countries visiting our Indian subcontinent in the quest of knowledge. So very quickly, we will see some of the educational institutions of holistic learning in India. So you all can see a picture, I believe. This is the Birmont remains. It's a part of Takshila or Takshashila University. Can anyone tell me where is Takshashila University situated now? In the present scenario?
Bihar.
In the present
Pakistan
times?
mein?
No.
Pakistan.
It is in Pakistan, sir. Thank you for your response. It's in Pakistan at a place called Rawalpindi on the banks of Indus
Yeah.
River. And some of the YouTube videos also, you can see a very ancient and a huge university. And it was, we had scholars from Central Asia, Persia, and Middle East coming here for business, and they were so impressed that they used to seek knowledge from this university. So it attracted scholars, and these scholars coming here and our scholars from Takshashila were also invited. Today, what we talk of faculty exchange, student exchange was there even in ancient India, but with a different term. They were invited to share their intellectual knowledge. So intellectual exchange was there. So let me ask you a simple question. When people move from one state to another state, one country to another country, do they carry their customs, their cultures, or they leave it back in their own place? May I ask you? Yes? Yeah, anybody? What do? We carry along or we leave it. So we carry. So when these scholars from foreign countries came, they brought their culture and customs, and then we also. So there was a not only an intellectual exchange, but a multicultural environment, which was very vibrant, and it created a cultural diversity. So today, what we are talking about, student diversity and inclusion, this is not new to us. We did have a cultural diversity in ancient India. So another very good university, very famous, which I'm sharing here in my presentation is Vikramshila University, which was one of the largest Buddhist universities in ancient India, with 100 teachers and more than 1,000 students. Can anyone tell where is this? Vikramshila University?
Bhagalpur.
Yeah, Bhagalpur,
It's
Bihar.
in Bihar.
India. Right now
Yes,
it is here.
Bhagalpur, Bihar.
So it did produce eminent scholars who were often invited by foreign countries to spread exclusively Buddhist learning, culture, and religion. And another one, I think all of you will be familiar with this. This is Nalanda University, what we today call it. It was earlier known as Nalanda Mahavira, which was established during the Gupta Empire and supported by Indian as well as Javanese patrons. And then Nalanda is considered to be the greatest centers of learning in the ancient world, not ancient India, friends. Please note. Okay. And the current site of Nalanda is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And in 2014, the government of India declared this as an institution of importance. So very briefly, I have highlighted these eminent institutions of ancient India, which make us proud and also motivate us that, oh no, we have got a very, very long history of knowledge and education. So our Indian higher education system, it produced scholars such as Charaka, Susruta, Aryabhatta, Thiruvallur, Gargi, to name a few. And their contributions were not in a specific field, but their contributions to the world knowledge in diverse fields such as mathematics, astronomy, metallurgy, medical science, surgery, civil engineering, architecture, shipbuilding, navigation, and then yoga. Even today, there's a lot of importance. We are also following fine arts, chess, and more. So Indian culture and philosophy, they have had a very strong influence on the world. Agreed, all of you? Or anybody would like to express something here? Our Indian culture and philosophy, they have had a very strong influence on the world. Yes or
Agreed,
no?
ma'am.
Yes?
Yes, agreed.
Yes, agreed. Thank you. So let us move on and exactly see now. So far, we have seen what is the importance of education, higher education. What is the present scenario of higher education or the changing scenario of massive enrollments in educational institutions in the country today? And then a quick look at the educational institutions and the system of education, which our seminal contributions to the world knowledge in these fields through a few universities we have seen as Takshashila, Vikramshila, and Nalanda. So now let us, friends, talk about what exactly is diversity. In general, I'm telling what is diversity. Kindly observe. Diversity involves in all the ways in which people differ, including primary characteristics such as age, race, gender, ethnicity, mental and physical abilities, sexual orientation, and secondary characteristics such as nationality, education, income, religion, work experience, language skills, geographic location, family status, communication style, learning style, economic background, and work style. So this is what the difference in these primary and secondary characteristics, which creates diversity, or what we observe in nature as different colors, different shades of things, and also human beings differing in their appearance, in their thinking, in their way they live and work. So this is diversity. Now, let us connect this diversity to our own institutions of higher learning, that is colleges and universities. Do you find diversity of students with respect to these primary and secondary characteristics? Yes? Come on. Please tell me, do we find, is there a diversity of students among students with respect to age in our institutions, colleges and universities? Come on, please respond. Yes. We have students who are doing their UG programs, PG programs, and doctoral students. Then, with respect to different disciplines, yes or no? Arts, humanities, sciences, technology, professional courses, non-technology courses, we do have a diversity with respect to their discipline, their age, and we do have some slow learners, some fast learners, student coming from first generation learners, parents are not educated, and we do have students who are from very good elite families and students who are coming from EWS background, that is economically, or we just call them as SEDGs, socially and economically disadvantaged groups of students. Do we have them on campus?
Yes.
Yeah? Do we have or no? On campus? SEDGs. And then we also have students with different learning styles. Some students are slow learners, some are fast learners. And then some are from very, very rural backgrounds, some are from urban backgrounds. So we have the diversity of students. And anybody would like to add anything, or this is fine? So the definition of diversity, is it applicable to our higher education institutions? Please respond.
Yes.
Okay. So all these categories you find on campus. Family status, and same English language, the North students talk in a different style and the students from South, for example. So we have different economic and learning style is also, like I told you, slow and fast. Geographic location, local, urban and rural. Language skills. Some people study in Gujarati medium, Hindi medium, Marathi medium. They also come. Different religions. And some students, after their graduation, they have work, they have some work experience, and some PG students do not have any work experience. We do find foreign scholars, foreign students on our campuses, and also you can check every year, almost 10 lakh students leave our country to pursue their higher studies, mainly to countries like United States of America, UK, Canada, and Germany, to name a few. Yes or no? Do they go? Students?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes,
Similarly, we have foreign students on our campus. Now, can we watch a small video, please?
yes.
Yes. And please watch this video very, very carefully. I'm going to ask you so many questions from that with regard to our theme today. It's not coming. 1 second, because sometimes the audio will not be. Is the screen visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. Please observe.
मिले सुर मेरा तुम्हारा तो सुर बने हमारा सुर की नदियाँ हर दिशा से बह के सागर में
जी बोलिए।
मिले
पास में बोलिए।
बादलों का रूप लेकर बरसे हल्के हल्के मिले सुर मेरा तुम्हारा तो सुर बने हमारा मिले सुर मेरा तुम्हारा
Miön तरज थई मिön तरज इकवट बनिए सान तरज
तेरा सुर मिले मेरे सुर दे नाल मिलके बने एक नवा सुरताल मिले सुर मेरा तुम्हारा तो सुर बने हमारा
मुंहिंजो सुर तुंहिंजे सां प्यारा मिले जॾहिं गीत असां जो मधुर तरानो बणे तॾहिं
सुर का दरिया बह के सागर में मिले
बदलांदा रूप लखे
बरसन होले होले
இசைந்தா நம் இருவரும் சுரமும் நமதாகும் திசை வேறானாலும் ஆழிசேர் ஆறுகள் முகிலாய் மழையாய் பொழிவது போல் இசை நம் இசை నన్నదనిగే నిన్నదనియా నా స్వరము నీ స్వరము സംഗമമൈ മനസ്വരങ്ക അവതരിഞ്ചി എന്റെ സ്വരവും നിങ്ങളുടെ സ്വരവും ഒത്തുചേർന്നു നമ്മുടെ സ്വരമായി তোমার সুর মোদের সুর
সৃষ্টি করো কই সুর তোমার সুর মোদের সুর সৃষ্টি করো কই সুর সৃষ্টি হো কই তান তোমা মোরা স্বরর মিলন সৃষ্টি করি চালু চালু મળે સુર જો તારો મારો બને આપણો સુર નિરાળો माझ्या तुमच्या जुळता तारा मधुर सुरांच्या बरसती धारा सुर की नदियाँ हर दिशा से बहते सागर में मिले बादलों का रूप लेके बरसे हल्के हल्के ओ मिले सुर मेरा तुम्हारा मिले सुर मेरा तुम्हारा ओ सुर
So, the coordinator, can you please unpin me so that the participants, we can have a discussion?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So it's now over to you. Let's have a brief discussion. So I suppose all of you have seen the video. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
So anybody who has seen the video for the first time?
No.
No, earlier also we have seen. But let me ask you, when we were discussing about diversity, after the definition of diversity, the components which create, the characteristics which create diversity, we have been looking at it, observing it, this video with the different perspectives. So may I have your views now? What do you observe in this video? Yes, over to you. Those who are talking, you can unmute or you can on your video. It's over to you. Quickly. Yes, please. What is your view?
Cultural diversity is there.
Cultural diversity, very good, sir.
Religious diversity, madam.
Yes, religious diversity, well taken.
And ethnicity also.
Madam, linguistic diversity.
Linguistic diversity, yes, correct.
Professional diversity.
Professional
Actors,
diversity,
cricketers.
sir. Can you name some of the professions we have seen there?
Cricketers, actors.
Painters,
Singers.
and one person that boat.
Yeah.
Okay, navigating the boat. Yes.
Singers also, ma'am.
Anything
Dancer
else?
also. Actors also.
Sorry, actors also. Yeah. Sorry,
Professional diversity,
which diversity?
age
Yes, ma'am.
and
The
gender
children, adults, and senior citizens also. Exactly.
and
As
gender
Dr.
also.
Sandhya says, diversity with respect to age. Anything else?
Gender.
Social diversity.
Yes. Gender diversity also. What else?
Social diversity.
Social diversity. And what was the message conveyed?
But unity also, it's convey unity also.
It conveyed unity. Can anyone still elaborate it? Yes, please.
Ma'am,
Language
united
diversity. Exactly. So,
Madam, but this video shows diversity within the Indian context.
yes. So, yes, it is in the Indian context very much. So, can we say it was unity, conveying the message of unity in diversity?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
All of
ma'am.
you agree?
Yes.
Yes. Now, we all said diversity with respect to age, gender, culture, language, profession, and all. There was diversity. So, we all also said that the message conveyed to us that we were, yeah, different dialects also, as I said in my definition, we all were happy with it or not while seeing the video. Were you comfortable or not comfortable?
Comfortable.
It was good to see the diversity or not? Was it good to see?
Yes.
Yes. So we were, can I say, we were celebrating diversity? Diversity should be celebrated or excluded or discriminated?
Right, should be celebrated.
It should be celebrated. That's right.
Celebrated.
And
It is our
then,
strength, madam.
sorry?
It's our strength.
Yes. So as you have seen in the video, different cultures, different languages, different age groups, gender-wise, profession-wise, we were, every profession, see in these professions, can we say some profession is superior, something is inferior?
No.
No. So exactly, as you said, no profession is inferior. So similarly, when we have a diversity among us in the educational institutions, you all said we have a diversity in our educational institutions with respect to age, gender, rural background, economic status, etc., etc. So are we having unity in diversity in educational institutions? I'm asking you this question. Now please respond. Are we having 100% or no?
Yes, ma'am.
100% sure?
Yes.
Yes.
Anybody who says not 100%, but something is missing, some problems are there? Please think. I am for not 100%. Anybody with me?
Not 100%, ma'am.
Okay. 2. I am for not 100%. It is 100% there is no unity in diversity on our campuses. Anybody? Please think and tell me. Okay. Can I give you some examples? Can I give some examples?
Yes.
Okay. Now, please respond yes or no. In your institutions, whether it is a college or a university, do you have anti-ragging cell?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Then if it is 100% yes, then why this anti-ragging committee and cell? And we write, in case of ragging, contact so-and-so, and we write 0 tolerance to ragging when the juniors come. Why? Because the senior students are prodding the junior students because of the diversity of experience in the institution. Yes or no? Another example I will give you. Do you have a students' grievance redressal committee in your institution?
Yes, ma'am.
Then why? Is it needed? If it is 100% diversity, is unity in diversity, it is not needed, no? But we have, all of us have. So, friends, of course, it appears, but sometimes what happens, what we see is not exactly that. So what is happening is, among students, there is a diversity, male and female. I will share my own example. Now, supposing when I make teams for a teamwork, for a presentation, students come and tell me, ma'am, in our group, first day they'll keep quiet. After 2 days, they'll come. There is a girl in my group. She doesn't come. She doesn't participate. So we don't want girls in my team. Do you have such examples? Then I tell them, see, tomorrow you are going to a corporate world. Will you make a team of only gentlemen? There may be some female employees, female managers. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So we have this. Similarly, and sometimes students come, ma'am, I'm from South. I want that girl to be my roommate because we both are from South India. Do we have that? Yes? Do you come across these problems?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So that means we are not celebrating diversity. There is no unity in diversity. There may be some, but in some cases, so to control that, to take, to have a correctional mechanism, we have and we also have something called as ICC. What is ICC? ICC. Internal Complaints Committee. Do we have? For what? For what purpose do we have ICC? Please tell me. Sexual harassment at workplace. Do you have? That means we are not celebrating gender diversity. As simple as that. I want response from you. Are you all connected? Yeah, participants?
Yes, ma'am.
Then why didn't you respond? So that means we need there is some sort of discrimination, exclusion. We are trying to avoid certain diversity. Yes or no? Let us see what is happening exactly in our educational institute. So we have seen this video and discussed. Now, I do have some statistics I have shared with you already. The diversity of students. I think somebody is talking. Now, enough of discussions. Let's go back to the presentation. I'll share my presentation and continue with because I have to discuss so many things with you. Please respond. I don't like one-way traffic. Okay. So discrimination in higher education, as per UNESCO 1916, is defined as any distinction, exclusion, limitation, or preference, which being based on caste, ethnicity, gender, language, religion, political affiliation, and economic class has a purpose or effect of nullifying, impairing equality of access, participation, and outcome of higher education. So in the context of education, we have two types of discrimination, that is positive and negative. Let me tell you what is positive discrimination, what is negative discrimination. Now, positive discrimination is when we are taking up institutional policies like reservation, some equity measures like a scholarship for the female students, free hostels, that is positive discrimination we are giving to a select group of students. Negative discrimination is like avoiding to share common spaces, and teachers also, अच्छा ठीक है, मैं बाइलिंगुअल बोल देती हूँ। तो कई बार हमसे भी ऐसा हो जाता है, क्लासरूम में हम जाते हैं लेक्चर देने के लिए, जो सामने बच्चे बैठे होते हैं, व्हेन दे रेस्पॉन्ड वी लुक एट देम एंड वी डू आवर जॉब, लेकिन जो बैक बेंचर्स हैं, जो इंट्रोवर्ट्स हैं, हम उनसे मुखातिब नहीं होते। सो नोइंगली और अननोइंगली हमसे क्या हो रहा है, एक एक्सक्लूजन हो रहा है, हाँ, एक तरह का डिस्क्रिमिनेशन हो रहा है, विच इज नॉट एडवाइजेबल। वी शुड बी having an inclusive approach. So I suppose I made it clear to you what is positive discrimination and what is negative discrimination. चलिए अब थोड़ा सा आगे बढ़ते हैं। आप लोग मुझे पहले बताते तो मैं बाइलिंगुअल ही करती। Anyway, so positive forms of discrimination, that is positive, which is very visible. Sometimes positive discrimination is correctional mechanism. इतने दिनों से लड़कियों को स्कूल और कॉलेज नहीं भेजा जाता था, they were restricted to the homes. फिर हमने देखा कि दूसरे तरक्की शुदा देशों से हमने देखी रिसर्च की, नो, वुमेन एजुकेशन इज आल्सो इंपॉर्टेंट। सो वी हैव स्टार्टेड वुमेन रिजर्वेशन, स्कॉलरशिप्स, वेवर इन ट्यूशन फी, ऑल दिस टू द इनइक्वालिटी नॉर्म्स विच आर इनग्रेन्ड इन द सोशल स्ट्रक्चर। जैसे कि गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की कुछ और भी आप पॉलिसीज देख सकते हैं, बेटी बचाओ, बेटी पढ़ाओ, ऑल दिस आर करेक्शनल मैकेनिज्म्स टू एड्रेस द प्रेजेंट स्टेट ऑफ इनइक्वालिटी इन द सोशल स्ट्रक्चर। तो this is about the forms of discrimination. And then I have taken some websites wherein we have the ragging, grievance, then caste discrimination complaints committee. So all this is not required when we celebrate diversity in our higher education institutions. Just because we are not celebrating, we are discriminating, we have this committees and cells. So negative discrimination based on जैसे कि caste, class, gender, और लैंग्वेज की बुनियाद पे, रीजन, रूरल बच्चे हैं, अर्बन बच्चे हैं, इस तरह इस बुनियाद पे जब हम एक्सक्लूड करते हैं, उनको अवॉइड करते हैं, दैट इज अ नेगेटिव डिस्क्रिमिनेशन। समटाइम्स इट इज विजिबल, समटाइम्स इट इज नॉट विजिबल। सो किसी भी यूनिवर्सिटी में, कॉलेज में 3 इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेक होल्डर्स होते हैं, स्टूडेंट्स, टीचर्स एंड एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव और द सपोर्ट स्टाफ। इन तीनों में ज्यादा इंटरेक्शन होता है, और कॉलेज के दिनों में जो इंटरेक्शन होता है वो लाइफ लॉन्ग हम उसको याद रखते हैं। अब इंडिविजुअल डिस्क्रिमिनेशन में वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड, जैसे कि स्टूडेंट्स कॉमन स्पेसेस, प्लेग्राउंड्स, अपना ग्रुप बना लेते हैं, उन्हीं से वो मिलना जुलना पसंद करते हैं, उस ग्रुप में दूसरों को वो दूसरों की शमूलियत को या पार्टिसिपेशन को वो पसंद नहीं करते हैं। टीचर स्टूडेंट इंटरेक्शन मैंने बताया कि हम लोग क्या करते हैं, हमारे जहन में ये होता है कि जो फ्रंट बेंचर्स हैं, जो ज्यादा हमसे इंटरेक्ट करते हैं, बस हम उन्हीं की तरफ देखते हैं, अपना ध्यान देते हैं, और बाकी स्टूडेंट्स को हम इग्नोर कर देते हैं। ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए। टीचर के लिए हर स्टूडेंट उतना ही इंपॉर्टेंट है, सबको इमोशनल और मॉरल सपोर्ट देना चाहिए। और एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन स्टूडेंट इंटरेक्शन में जैसे कि एग्जामिनेशन ब्रांच है, कंट्रोलर ऑफिस है, एडमिशन सेल है और प्लेसमेंट सेल है। यहाँ पे क्या होता है, जो बच्चे फ्लुएंट होते हैं उन्हीं को मतलब हम सपोर्ट करते हैं, और बाकी बच्चे जो इंट्रोवर्ट होते हैं, फर्स्ट जनरेशन लर्नर्स होते हैं, उनको हम क्या करते हैं, हैंड होल्डिंग नहीं करते हैं। और कुछ बच्चे फिजिकली या मेंटली थोड़ा सा स्लो होते हैं, तो हम उनकी तरफ हमारा ध्यान नहीं देते हैं। तो हम क्या करते हैं, जब उनको फिर जरूरत होती है तो हमको एक्स्ट्रा हैंड होल्डिंग देना चाहिए, लेकिन हम लोग क्या करते हैं, जब वो आते हैं कहते हैं कि बेटा अभी तो लास्ट डेट हो गई है, अगली बार आपको बता देंगे। लेकिन अगर हमने थोड़ा सा कोशिश की होती, प्रयास किया होता, तो उनको हम पहले ये सब बता देते, तो उनका कुछ फायदा हो जाता वहां पे। इंस्टीट्यूशनल डिस्क्रिमिनेशन में क्या होता है, हमेशा हम लोग कुछ कैटेगरी ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स को हम स्कॉलरशिप्स, फ्री शिप्स, बुक ग्रांट, रेमेडियल कोचिंग फॉर स्लो लर्नर्स देते हैं, जिसकी वजह से क्या हो जाता है, ये इंस्टीट्यूशनल डिस्क्रिमिनेशन है। दिस इज फॉर मेन स्ट्रीमिंग। तो ये भी कहीं ना कहीं हम एक अच्छे मिशन के साथ, हम ऑब्जेक्टिव के साथ हम कर रहे हैं। तो अब हमने देखा है कि व्हाट इज एग्जैक्टली डाइवर्सिटी इन एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस ऑफ हायर लर्निंग, व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, व्हाट इज रिजल्ट ऑफ दिस डाइवर्सिटी, बिकॉज स्टूडेंट्स आर नॉट सेलिब्रेटिंग इट, एंड देन उसका नतीजा क्या होता है। सो लेट अस टॉक अबाउट द कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस ऑफ डिस्क्रिमिनेशन। तो यहाँ पे आई कोट मार्टिन लूथर किंग जूनियर, जिसमें हम कहते हैं कि आई कोट हिम, व्हाट एवर अफेक्ट्स वन डायरेक्टली अफेक्ट्स ऑल इनडायरेक्टली, आई अनकोट। अब यहां मैं आपसे पूछती हूं एक छोटा सा सवाल, स्टूडेंट्स आते हैं यूनिवर्सिटीज एंड कॉलेजेस में, पता है वो लोग क्यों आते हैं? व्हाई डू दे कम, व्हाई डू दे टेक द एडमिशन इन यूजी पीजी प्रोग्राम्स और फॉर दैट मैटर डॉक्टरल प्रोग्राम्स? व्हाई डू दे टेक द एडमिशन? To complete their program of study, BA, BCom, BSc, MBA, MCA, and then PhD. They join the services or they become entrepreneurs. The outcome is that. So now we have the institution, we have the student. So what about the other stakeholders? Supposing some students in our college or university gets a gold medal, do we all celebrate? Other department teachers also, do we feel happy? प्लीज रेस्पॉन्ड। यानी किसी की सफलता पे भी हम क्या करते हैं, खुशियां मनाते हैं, उनका हम साथ देते हैं मिल करके। क्योंकि देखिए इंग्लिश डिपार्टमेंट को, अगर इंग्लिश डिपार्टमेंट में एक स्कॉलर को, पीएचडी स्कॉलर को फुल ब्राइट फेलोशिप मिल गई, तब सारे डिपार्टमेंट्स में व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में वो आ गया, हमने उनको बधाई दी। और इसी तरह किसी बच्चे का कोई एक्सीडेंट हो जाता है, किसी का कोई ऐसा कुछ हो दुर्घटना होती है, तब भी हम क्या करते हैं, वो हमारे डिपार्टमेंट से नहीं है, कुछ लेना देना नहीं है, लेकिन फिर भी हम समाज में भी हमारा यही है, अड़ोस पड़ोस में भी है, कोई खुशी की बात होती है तो हम आपस में मिलकर के उसको सेलिब्रेट करते हैं, और कुछ ऐसा इंसिडेंट होता है तो हम उनके साथ सिंपैथाइज करते हैं ना। सो द इम्पैक्ट इज स्टूडेंट्स का इंस्टीट्यूशन का 1-to-1 इंटरेक्शन नहीं है, इसमें समाज भी है, टीचर्स भी है, पेरेंट्स भी है, सभी लोग हैं। सो वट एवर अफेक्ट्स वन डायरेक्टली अफेक्ट्स ऑल इनडायरेक्टली। मैं इसका एक और एग्जाम्पल दे सकती हूँ कि हम लोग इंस्टीट्यूशन में हैं, सब कुछ ठीक ठाक होता है, घर जाते हैं तो खुश रहते हैं, ऑफिस में कुछ ऐसी घटना हो जाती है जिससे कि हम अपसेट हैं, तो क्या घर वाले भी पूछते हैं कि सब कुछ ठीक तो है? एंड वाइस वर्सा, घर में किसी की तबीयत खराब होती है, हमारा नॉर्मल बिहेवियर नहीं होता है, तो डिपार्टमेंट में भी लोग हमसे पूछते हैं ना। सो ऑफिस इज डिफरेंट एंड होम इज डिफरेंट, लेकिन दोनों का अंतर जरूर है, लेकिन एक दूसरे से दोनों इम्पैक्ट हो रहे हैं कि नहीं हो रहे हैं? Come on, please respond. Yes or no? Let me see the
Yes.
chat. Yes. तो ये दोनों अलग नहीं है। So जैसा कि मैंने ये quotation शेयर किया आपसे, whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. हमारा उनसे कुछ लेना देना नहीं होता, लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं ये ह्यूमन नेचर है, जो कि कभी डिस्क्रिमिनेशन का जो कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस होते हैं कि हम बच्चों को ज्यादा से ज्यादा जब हम डिस्क्रिमिनेट करते हैं तो इसका नतीजा क्या होता है कि टीचर्स ध्यान नहीं देते हैं, अपने साथी उनसे ठीक से बात नहीं करते हैं, तो स्टूडेंट्स धीरे धीरे क्लास में आना कम हो जाते हैं। फॉर एग्जाम्पल जो कि फर्स्ट जनरेशन लर्नर्स है, जो कि थोड़े से डिफरेंटली एबल्ड है, उनको जब सपोर्ट नहीं मिलता है तो वो क्या करते हैं, उनकी अटेंडेंस कम हो जाती है, एग्जामिनेशन में उनको नहीं बैठाया जाता है, तो या तो वो फेल हो जाते हैं या तो वो ड्रॉप आउट कर जाते हैं। अब एक स्टूडेंट का ड्रॉप आउट हो गया, बड़ी उम्मीदों के साथ वो आते हैं, एडमिशन लेते हैं, तो फैमिली, बच्चा परेशान, स्टूडेंट, फैमिली परेशान, अड़ोस पड़ोस में भी होता है ना कि इनका एडमिशन कैंसिल हो गया, ये फेल हो गए। तो इंस्टीट्यूशन में भी क्या है कि हमारा रिजल्ट और हमारा जो परफॉर्मेंस है वो कहीं ना कहीं कम हो जाता है। सो इसके जो इम्पैक्ट है वो ज्यादा है, बहुत ज्यादा। सी डिस्क्रिमिनेशन का जो कॉन्सिक्वेंस है उसको हमको सिर्फ इंडिविजुअल के तौर पे नहीं, इंस्टीट्यूशन यानी हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी और कॉलेज, फैमिली, कम्युनिटी और पूरे समाज के दायरे में इसको देखना है। सो अब जब ज्यादा डिस्क्रिमिनेशन हो जाता है तो बच्चे या तो एक्सेस यानी आते नहीं हैं, आते भी हैं तो पार्टिसिपेट नहीं करते हैं, पार्टिसिपेट कर लेते हैं तो परफॉर्मेंस अच्छी नहीं होती है, प्लेसमेंट में नहीं जाते हैं। सो द आउटकम्स विल बी नॉट as expected. Successful completion of a course for a decent employment and higher studies, social outcome क्या हो जाता है, social और behavioral competency में ये diverse world में इनको सहायता नहीं मिलती है। अब हम बात करते हैं हमारी नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी 2020, व्हाट डज इट टॉक अबाउट स्टूडेंट डाइवर्सिटी एंड इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशन। तो इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशन में हम पूरी कोशिश ये करते हैं कि सबको साथ लेकर के चले। तो नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी का जो डॉक्यूमेंट है चैप्टर 6 और चैप्टर 14 में उन्होंने बताया है कि इक्विटेबल एंड इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशन, लर्निंग फॉर ऑल, और चैप्टर 14 में रिकमेंडेशंस हैं जिस पर के इक्विटी एंड इंक्लूजन इन हायर एजुकेशन है। इसके साथ साथ एनईपी डॉक्यूमेंट में टेक्नोलॉजी एनेबल्ड लर्निंग जैसे कि ब्लेंडेड लर्निंग और सेल्फ बेस्ड और एकेडमिक बैंक ऑफ क्रेडिट्स की भी इसमें बात की गई है। तो इससे पहले कि हम देखें कि व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशन एज टीचर्स, हमारा क्या योगदान है, तो हम देखते हैं एनईपी डॉक्यूमेंट पहले। सो आई एम शेयरिंग, ऑल ऑफ यू कैन सी द एनईपी डॉक्यूमेंट। यस,
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So I'm slowly scrolling this. Kindly have a look at it. So chapter 6, equitable and inclusive education for learning for all. ये page 24 पे है. Coming to higher education, since we all are teachers from higher education institutions. Chapter 14, can anyone read? मैंने कर्सर लगाया है वहां पर. Serial number 14. Please read.
Yes, ma'am.
Equity and inclusion in higher education.
Equity and inclusion in higher education.
Okay. Yes, let us visit this. So equity and inclusion in higher education. So मैंने जैसे बताया आपको socially and economically disadvantaged groups को mainstream करना है, और इसके लिए कुछ steps to be taken by the governments हैं, जैसे कि reservation policy हमने बताई है आपको, और कुछ steps to be taken by all higher education institutions. ये मैंने अपनी presentation में आपसे discuss करती हूँ, तो ये steps लेना है. और before itself मैं आपको बता देती हूँ, जैसा कि presentation में बताया, technology enabled learning के बारे में. Sorry. टेक्नोलॉजी एनेबल लर्निंग का भी हम अभी देख लेते हैं. सो एज आई गो अलोंग आई कैन प्रेजेंट इट. सो यहाँ पर आप स्वयं देखेंगे टेक्नोलॉजी एनेबल लर्निंग ब्लेंडेड लर्निंग की एनईपी में बात हो रही है. ठीक है. तो ऑनलाइन एंड डिजिटल एजुकेशन ensuring equitable use of technology for inclusive education. This I will show you in my presentation. Okay. ऑनलाइन टीचिंग प्लेटफॉर्म से हमारे पास डिजिटल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है, ये सब हमको करना है. वर्चुअल लैब्स, ब्लेंडेड मोड्स ऑफ लर्निंग, ऑनलाइन असेसमेंट एंड एग्जामिनेशंस, ये परख है. तो these are the standards. So let us go back to the presentation and see. So what exactly inclusive education क्या है? Inclusive education एक transformative approach है that seeks to provide equal opportunities and support for all the students regardless of their diverse needs, whether somebody is from rural background, whether somebody has done education in a regional language, or somebody is physically or differently able, उन सब के लिए समान opportunities होने चाहिए. So it aims to create an environment where students with disabilities, socio-economic differences, disadvantages, cultural differences और different learning styles एक साथ मिलजुल के institutions में पढ़ते हैं. तो ये एक इक्विटेबल और प्रोग्रेसिव सोसाइटी बनाने में इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशनल अप्रोच का बहुत बड़ा योगदान है. तो कुछ लेजिस्लेशंस भी हम लोग देखते हैं. आप लोगों को पता होगा राइट टू एजुकेशन एक्ट 2009 के बारे में, जिसमें कि 6 साल से 14 वर्ष की उम्र के बच्चों को स्कूल जाना जरूरी है. अगर आप उनको कहीं एम्प्लॉय करते हैं तो वो चाइल्ड लेबर में आता है एंड इज अ पनिशेबल ऑफेंस. और हमारे कुछ इंटरनेशनल कमिटमेंट्स भी हैं, जैसे कि यूनाइटेड नेशंस कन्वेंशन ऑन द राइट्स ऑफ पर्सन्स विद डिसेबिलिटीज, जिसमें कि हमको इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशन सभी को फराहम करना है. और एडवोकेसी एंड अवेयरनेस करना है, जैसे कि एनजीओज है, इस तरह के प्रोग्राम्स चलाना है जिसमें कि टीचर्स को हम सेंसिटाइज करें, क्योंकि टीचर्स ही हैं स्टूडेंट्स से जो डायरेक्ट पहले सबसे ज्यादा कॉन्टैक्ट में आते हैं इंक्लूसिव लर्निंग के लिए. और हमारे पास आप लोग सर्व शिक्षा अभियान, इसके बारे में सुने होंगे, कुछ हमारे पॉलिसी रिफॉर्म्स है फॉर इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशन. तो अब हम कैसे आगे बढ़ सकते हैं इंक्लूसिव फ्यूचर बनाने के लिए? टीचर्स की ट्रेनिंग को स्ट्रॉन्ग बनाएं, एक अवेयरनेस और सेंसिटाइजेशन क्रिएट करें, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बदलें अपने इंस्टीट्यूशंस का, जैसे कि रैंप बनाएं, एलिवेटर्स और एक्सेसिबल वॉशरूम्स, लिफ्ट्स लगाएं, ताकि बच्चे कंफर्टेबल होकर यहाँ आ सकें और पढ़ सकें. और हमारा करिकुलम सिर्फ इंग्लिश में हम उनको देते हैं, अनलेस इट इज अ मीडियम ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शन उसका गुजराती हो या कुछ हो. लेकिन कुछ अगर विजुअली हैंडीकैप्ड है, डिफरेंटली थोड़ा सा ये है, तो ब्रेल में भी उस मटेरियल को हम दे सकते हैं. और हम क्या कर सकते हैं, लोकल एरिया में जो एनजीओज हैं, जो कम्युनिटीज हैं, जो रिसोर्सेस अवेलेबल हैं, उनमें से हम एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेट करने के लिए हम कोलैबोरेशन कर सकते हैं. इसका द बेस्ट एग्जांपल कुड बी कम्युनिटी कॉलेजेस. और हमारे पास जो इनइक्वालिटीज हैं उनको एड्रेस करना होगा, जैसे कि मैंने बताया गर्ल चाइल्ड एजुकेशन, बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ, उसको अपनाना चाहिए कहीं ना कहीं. अब हमारे पास कुछ चैलेंजेस भी हैं हमारे देश में. इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशन के लिए हमारे पास इतने अच्छे रिसोर्सेस और इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर नहीं है, टीचर्स की मुकम्मल ट्रेनिंग नहीं है, और समाज में भी क्या एक स्टिग्मा है कि कल्चरल बायास है कि इन लोगों को नहीं पढ़ना चाहिए, इन लोगों को स्कूल या कॉलेज नहीं जाना चाहिए. और हमारा जो असेसमेंट सिस्टम है सभी के लिए एक है, अनलेस कि हम शायद विजुअली हैंडीकैप जो है उनको एक स्क्राइब देते हैं, लेकिन जो स्लो लर्नर्स हैं उनको ज्यादा समय देना चाहिए एग्जामिनेशन के लिए, या उनका असेसमेंट पैटर्न थोड़ा सा अलग होना चाहिए। और जो मार्जिनलाइज कम्युनिटीज हैं, फर्स्ट जनरेशन लर्नर्स हैं जो कि पहली बार आए हैं, उनको भी थोड़ा सा हैंड होल्डिंग करना चाहिए। और हमारा जो अप्रोच है वो ज्यादातर टीचर सेंट्रिक है, हम सिलेबस पढ़ाते हैं और आ जाते हैं, लेकिन हमको अपनाना चाहिए लर्नर सेंट्रिक अप्रोच। कुछ एग्जाम्पल्स हैं, जैसे कि स्टूडेंट्स को पार्टिसिपेटिव मेथड में पढ़ाएं, टीचिंग जो हमारी पेडागोजी है लेक्चर मेथड ना हो करके कुछ सिमुलेशन एक्सरसाइजेस हैं, ग्रुप वर्क्स हैं, ट्यूटोरियल हैं, प्रोजेक्ट वर्क और फील्ड वर्क जब देंगे तो बच्चे एक दूसरे से इंटरेक्ट होंगे, एक मौका मिलेगा, एक प्लेटफॉर्म मिलेगा एक दूसरे की डाइवर्सिटी को समझने का। तो हमको सिर्फ नॉलेज को ट्रांसमिट नहीं करना है बल्कि नॉलेज कंस्ट्रक्शन करना है। अब हम लोग 21वीं सदी में हैं, तो सिर्फ सिलेबस पढ़ाना नहीं है हमारा काम। हमारा काम है उनमें क्रिएटिविटी, क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग, कम्युनिकेशन और कोलैबोरेशन को उनमें इम्बाइब करना है। सो एंड मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंटली एज टीचर्स हम लोग क्या कर सकते हैं कि स्ट्रॉन्ग रिलेशनशिप्स बनाना है, उनके सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस को एनकरेज करें और उनका जो इमोशनल रिफ्लेक्शन है ना वो हमारे साथ ज्यादा होना चाहिए। आप लोगों को पता होगा कि वी हैव अ यूजीसी स्कीम ऑफ मेंटोरशिप, उसको I hope all of you are doing in your institutions. So this is a best platform for bringing in inclusivity. और एक अच्छा मेंटर वो होता है जो स्टूडेंट्स की बात को अच्छी तरह सुने, समझे, गाइड करें, करियर गाइडेंस दे और उनको सक्सेसफुली हम उनके करियर पाथ पे गाइड कर सकते हैं। और हर टीचर के पास कुछ ना कुछ मेंटीज होते हैं, 9 to 10 mentees. We can have a we need some skills to be a mentor, like we have to be self-aware, our own self-awareness. We should be role models, and most importantly, we should be in a position to empathize with them. Look the world through their eyes. Only then we can understand them better and guide them. And then most importantly, कई बार ऐसा होता है कि मेंटीज या स्टूडेंट्स आते हैं मेंटर की तलाश में, लेकिन वो हम अपने ही कामों में इतने उलझे रहते हैं कि उनको समय नहीं दे पाते हैं। तो ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए, हमको स्टूडेंट्स के लिए एक्सक्लूसिवली एक शेड्यूल बनाएं और उसको मेंटरशिप को 100% सक्सेसफुली करना चाहिए। इसके साथ साथ मेंटर्स की कुछ जिम्मेदारियां भी हैं कि मेंटीज के एकेडमिक और नॉन एकेडमिक प्रॉब्लम्स को समझें और उनको भी समझाएं और उनको धीरे धीरे करके एक उनको कनेक्ट करें सोसाइटी से भी और दुनिया से भी और इंस्टीट्यूशन से भी एंड गाइड देम प्रॉपर्ली। तो मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंटली हमारे पास अदर डाइवर्सिटीज के अलावा जो स्लो एंड फास्ट लर्नर्स हैं उनको हम रेमेडियल टीचिंग करवाते हैं। तो आई थिंक मोस्ट ऑफ द इंस्टीट्यूशंस में ये होता है। तो प्लीज रेमेडियल कोचिंग क्लास का प्रिंट आउट या बोर्ड मत लगाइए, स्टूडेंट्स शायद आने में थोड़ा सा उनको झिझक होगी, बिल्कुल उसको नॉर्मल वे में चलाइए और उनको लेबल मत कीजिए कि दी स्टूडेंट्स आर सिलेक्टेड फॉर रेमेडियल कोचिंग, अच्छा नहीं लगता है। तो रेमेडियल टीचिंग मोस्टली क्या होता है कि एक क्लासरूम होता है, उसमें कोई दूसरे टीचर पढ़ा देते हैं, लेकिन उसको बहुत ही सिस्टमैटिक करने की जरूरत है। लाइक वी हैव द इंडिविजुअलाइज्ड एजुकेशन प्रोग्राम, जिसमें कि एक बहुत ही छोटा ग्रुप एक टीचर को दिया जाता है और वो उनको बिल्कुल आराम से पढ़ाते हैं और कभी कभी 1-to-1 भी होता है। और एक और मेथड ऑफ रेमेडियल टीचिंग स्ट्रैटेजी है peer support program. So do you all know what is a peer support program? Have you been doing in your institutions? Anybody would like to share what is a peer support program in remedial teaching? Yes? Anybody would like to share or should I tell? चलिए मैं ही एग्जाम्पल देती हूँ। We get students from different backgrounds, arts, science, humanities, in management. So the science students, they have a problem with accounts, basic accountancy, debit, credit, balance sheet. तो हम क्या करते हैं कि जो स्टूडेंट्स कॉमर्स के बैकग्राउंड हैं उनसे कहते हैं कि जो नॉन कॉमर्स के स्टूडेंट्स हैं अकाउंटेंसी के, उनको आप बेसिक्स सिखाएं, बताएं, आई मीन डिस्कशन मेथड में। तो इससे बहुत अच्छा होता है, उनका इंटरेक्शन भी होता है और वो समझते भी हैं बिल्कुल अपने अंदाज में। और अब प्रोफेसर्स बिल्कुल डेबिट क्रेडिट से तो शुरू नहीं कर सकते हैं। तो दिस वे, एंड समटाइम्स वी हैव स्टूडेंट्स फ्रॉम इंजीनियरिंग टेक्निकल बैकग्राउंड जो कि उनको स्टैटिस्टिक्स ये सब बताते हैं। सो दिस पीयर सपोर्ट प्रोग्राम is found to be very successful, and we have tried it in our own institutions. You can also try. And then feedback also is very important. जब remedial हम करते हैं तो feedback उसका एक important पहलू है जो students को, parents को और उनके own subject teachers को देना जरूरी है। और ये feedback बहुत ही timely होना चाहिए, ऐसा नहीं कि semester के end में देंगे तो करने की कोई गुंजाइश नहीं रहेगी कुछ। So individualized ये मैंने अभी आपको समझा दिया है, this is the detail about it, peer support ये है, एंड देन फीडबैक के बारे में है। और कई बार हम देखते हैं कि कुछ पेरेंट्स जो है ना इतने हाईली एम्बिशियस होते हैं अपने बच्चों को लेकर के, चाहते हैं कि उनका बच्चा बस आसमान से तारे ही तोड़ ले। ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है। एवरी चाइल्ड इज यूनिक, उसकी कैपेबिलिटी देखें और उसके हिसाब से भी अपने जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं, लर्नर्स हैं, उनके एस्पिरेशंस देखें। और कुछ पेरेंट्स होते हैं बहुत ही बिल्कुल लापरवाही से बच्चों के ऊपर छोड़ देते हैं, ऐसा भी नहीं करना चाहिए। देयर शुड बी ए प्रॉपर बैलेंस। और फीडबैक, देयर आर सम मेथड्स टू प्रोवाइड एन इफेक्टिव फीडबैक। तो उनके एजुकेशनल नीड्स क्या हैं, क्लासरूम में उनका अप्रोच कैसा है, कैसे वो इंटरेक्ट करते हैं, सॉफ्ट स्किल्स ट्रेनिंग जिसको हम बोलते हैं, कैसे अपने आप को प्रेजेंट करें, कैसे दूसरों को देखें। सो ऑल दिस थिंग्स पे भी आपको एक पॉजिटिव और कंस्ट्रक्टिव फीडबैक देना चाहिए स्टूडेंट्स को। और एंड में कोशिश ये होनी चाहिए कि डाइवर्सिटी और इंक्लूजन को लाने के लिए इंस्टीट्यूशंस में एक अच्छा एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशन वो कहलाएगा जहां के हर स्टूडेंट इर्रेस्पेक्टिव ऑफ देयर डाइवर्सिटी कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स, क्योंकि जब स्टूडेंट्स अलग अलग हैं तो डाइवर्सिटी तो रहेगी। एवरी स्टूडेंट शुड फील दैट ही और शी इज वेलकम्ड एंड केयर्ड फॉर, जहां पे कि बिल्कुल ही एक महफूज यानी सेफ और स्टिमुलेटिंग लर्निंग एनवायरनमेंट मिले उनको। एंड देन दे हैव अ रेंज ऑफ लर्निंग एक्सपीरियंसेस with good physical infrastructure like Wi-Fi facility, etc., and the resources conducive to learning like a library are available to all students. अगर इंस्टीट्यूशन अगर हम ऐसा बनाएंगे तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं रहेगी, हमारे पास डाइवर्सिटी तो रहेगी, वी विल सेलिब्रेट डाइवर्सिटी एंड इंक्लूसिव जो अप्रोचेस होंगे तो स्टूडेंट्स विल बी वेरी केयरफुली. सो आई विल क्विकली शेयर द ABC PPT and then take some questions from you. So is the PPT visible? Academic Bank of Credits? All of you?
Yes.
Is the PPT visible? Okay. So before I share my PPT, let me tell you, NEP talks about multiple entry and multiple exit, and we did discuss in the diversity, we have slow learners and fast learners. So because of diversity and due to discrimination, we did also discuss that there could be low participation, less participation, there could be a dropout. So when this dropout is there, ultimately it will impact our gross enrollment ratio. To avoid this, ABC is a very good platform wherein the students can take up multidisciplinary learning, multiple entry, multiple exit, and they can also take courses through MOOCs or online platforms, that is the Government of India's SWAYAM platform, totally free, and then earn their degrees by accumulating credits and depositing in their academic bank account and then redeeming it to earn their degrees. How? Step by step, we will see. So I'm sharing the ABC PPT, kindly look at it. So this facility is called Academic Bank of Credits, Establishment and Operation of Academic Bank of Credits in Higher Education Regulations 2021, jahan pe ke this is based on the principle of distributed and flexible teaching learning, जिसमें कि अपनी चॉइस और कन्वीनियंस से बच्चे क्रेडिट्स अर्न कर सकते हैं। यहाँ पे इसके माध्यम से हम ड्रॉप आउट को कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं और GER को बढ़ा सकते हैं। कैसे, वो हम सब्सिक्वेंटली वी विल डिस्कस। तो ABC में क्या है, अपना एकेडमिक बैंक खाता जो होता है उसको ओपन कर सकते हैं, बंद कर सकते हैं, और ये जो है 7 इयर्स तक इनका क्रेडिट ट्रांसफर या रिडेम्पशन हो सकता है। नॉर्मली अगर हम MSc या MA में एडमिशन लेते हैं तो 4 साल तक उसको कर सकते हैं, लेकिन ABC एक ऐसी फैसिलिटी है जिसमें हमारे क्रेडिट्स को हम 7 साल तक रिडीम कर सकते हैं। ये एक नेशनल लेवल फैसिलिटी है टू प्रमोट मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी एकेडमिक मोबिलिटी ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स अक्रॉस HEIs। आप अपने इंस्टीट्यूशन से 50% ले सकते हैं, बाकी 50% आप दूसरे इंस्टीट्यूशन से और 40% आप MOOC से ले सकते हैं स्टूडेंट्स। तो आप लोग इसको ध्यान से देखिए और अपने स्टूडेंट्स से शेयर कीजिए। ये इसके कुछ ऑब्जेक्टिव्स हैं टू प्रमोट स्टूडेंट मोबिलिटी, लर्नर फ्रेंडली अप्रोच है ये। और इसके कुछ रेगुलेशन है कि जो भी हायर एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशन ABC में क्रेडिट देना चाहते हैं स्टूडेंट्स को, वो अपनी हाईएस्ट बॉडी जो है एग्जीक्यूटिव काउंसिल या सेनेट में अप्रूवल 1 टाइम ले और ABC पोर्टल पे रजिस्टर करें और क्रेडिट्स वो दे सकते हैं। इसकी मेथोडोलॉजी है, हर रजिस्टर्ड हायर एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशन को अपने वेबसाइट पे बताना पड़ेगा कि वो कौन से क्रेडिट्स दे रहे हैं, और एटलीस्ट 50% स्टूडेंट जहां एनरोल्ड है वहां से उनको लेना पड़ेगा। तो ये जो एकेडमिक बैंक अकाउंट है ये बिल्कुल अपने सेविंग्स बैंक अकाउंट की तरह है, जिसमें कि जब हमारे पास पैसा होता है तो हम डिपॉजिट करते हैं, जब हमें चाहिए होता है हम उसको विड्रॉ करते हैं। तो हमारे क्रेडिट्स भी इसमें जमा होते हैं और बाद में हम इसको ट्रांसफर करके अपनी डिग्री या डिप्लोमा ले सकते हैं। तो मैं इसका रेगुलेशन भी आपसे दिखा देती हूँ, इसको देखिएगा। इज द स्क्रीन विजिबल? ABC रेगुलेशन? यस, स्क्रीन इज विजिबल?
Yes.
हाँ, तो ये देखिए एबीसी का रेगुलेशन है. दिस लेटर इज एड्रेस टू ऑल वाइस चांसलर्स ऑफ यूनिवर्सिटीज एंड प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ ऑटोनोमस कॉलेजेस. ये गेजेट नोटिफिकेशन है एकेडमिक बैंक ऑफ क्रेडिट्स का. मैं इसको स्क्रॉल करती हूँ, आप लोग देख लीजिएगा. प्रेजेंटेशन में मैंने बहुत कुछ दिखाया है, पोर्टल भी दिखा देती हूँ. और ये देखिए हिंदी में भी है और गजेट इसका इंग्लिश में भी है, जो मैंने पीपीटी में दिखाया था आपको. एस्टैब्लिशमेंट एंड ऑपरेशन ऑफ एकेडमिक बैंक ऑफ क्रेडिट्स इन हायर एजुकेशन रेगुलेशंस 2021. और ये मैंने आपसे एकेडमिक बैंक अकाउंट के बारे में बताया, क्रेडिट्स के बारे में, फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी, ऑटोनोमस कॉलेज क्या है आप लोग जानते हैं, क्रेडिट. और यहाँ पे मैं थोड़ा सा तेजी से जा रही हूँ क्योंकि बहुत सारी, ये आपको गूगल कर सकते हैं, यूजीसी वेबसाइट पे ये आपको नोटिफिकेशन मिल जाएगा, गेजेट नोटिफिकेशन. ये एलिजिबिलिटी ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूशंस है रजिस्टर करने के लिए. और इसको हम 7 इयर्स तक हम रिडीम कर सकते हैं. ये देख लीजिए आप, सीरियल नंबर 7 पे क्रेडिट्स अर्न शैल बी डिपॉजिटेड एंड देन वैलिड फॉर नॉट एक्सीडिंग 7 इयर्स. 7 इयर्स के बाद आप क्रेडिट्स रिडीम नहीं कर सकते हैं. सो दिस इज द रेगुलेशन. मैं आपको अभी एबीसी पोर्टल पे ले चलती हूँ. ABC portal, is it visible to all of you? Yes? ABC, Academic Bank of Credits portal is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
abc.gov.in. So this is enabling students mobility across higher education institutions. ये हमारा अकाउंट होता है जहाँ के स्टूडेंट का होता है और अवॉर्डिंग इंस्टीट्यूशन का होता है. और यहाँ आप आएंगे तो कुछ स्टैटिस्टिक्स भी देख लीजिए. ये देखिए स्टूडेंट लर्नर्स रजिस्टर्स 31.33 करोड़ हैं, 33 करोड़ हैं. तो स्टेट वाइज भी हमारे पास एबीसी क्रेडिट्स का डेटा है. तो उत्तर प्रदेश का मैं, कैन एनीवन रीड इट आउट? उत्तर प्रदेश का जो डेटा है एबीसी अकाउंट्स का. यस, एनीबडी प्लीज रीड आउट.
The total ABC accounts.
जी,
62,37,585.
1 मिनट मैम. टोटल ये यहाँ से हम पढ़ेंगे. टोटल ऑनबोर्डेड एकेडमिक इंस्टीट्यूशंस 130.
130.
ओके. एबीसी अकाउंट्स विद क्रेडिट डेटा 47 और क्रेडिट रिकॉर्ड्स विद एबीसी आईडी. तो इस तरह हमारा डेटा रहेगा. मैं आपको छोटा सा वीडियो शेयर करती हूँ, आप लोग देख लीजिए, अपने स्टूडेंट्स से शेयर कर सकते हैं, बता सकते हैं उनको रजिस्ट्रेशन के लिए जो फ्लेक्सिबल मेथड में अपनी डिग्री को लेना चाहते हैं. देखिए इस तरह वो काम करता है. इंस्टीट्यूशन ए क्रेडिट्स डिपॉजिट होते हैं और ट्रांसफर होते हैं. फिर इंस्टीट्यूशन बी में स्टूडेंट यहाँ होता है, तो यहाँ हम उसको यहाँ से ट्रांसफर करके रिडीम कर सकते हैं. मैं वीडियो शेयर कर रही हूँ तो आप लोग एक सेकेंड, लेट मी शेयर द ऑडियो ऑल्सो. Just give me a minute. Yes. Please watch this video. I hope you have seen this, all of you. So now, so this was about the academic bank creation of ABC ID. So let me sum up. आज हमने डिस्कस किया the importance of education, what exactly is creating student diversity institutions of higher learning in the country. what are the consequences of student diversity and how to address diversity through inclusive education approaches, and what exactly is the role of teachers. And lastly, how academic bank of credits facility is helping multiple entry, multiple exit, and supporting the students with slow learning and differently able students. So this was from my side. Now it's over to you for questions, please. Any questions, please ask me. अगर मेरे presentation में से भी आपको किसी slide पे आपने कुछ note किया है तो बताइए, मैं share करती हूँ और हम लोग discuss कर सकते हैं. Chat box भी देख लेती हूँ, वहाँ पर तो कोई सवाल है नहीं. And sorry, हिंदी से ज़्यादा मैं उर्दू का इस्तेमाल कर रही थी. Hope you don't mind. You didn't mind rather.
Dear participants, अगर कोई query या कोई question है तो पूछ सकते हैं.
I hope the presentation was clear. आपको मतलब थोड़ा सा मैंने ज्यादा दिखाया इसलिए कि सब कुछ उसको related aspects मुझे cover करना था, तो मैंने ABC भी और एक आध वीडियो भी प्ले किया आपको diversity से connected. Hope you all liked it. जी.
Thank you, ma'am. That was very informative. Diversity का definition एक तरह से हम लोगों को एक नई तरह से मिला, और unity हम लोग समझते थे कि हमारे कॉलेज में unity है, लेकिन आपने वो जो डिफाइन किया कि ग्रीवेंस रिड्यूसल सेल अगर है तो यूनिटी कहाँ है, इस तरह से और भी एंटी रैगिंग सेल, वुमेन्स सेल, ये सब जो है तो कहीं ना कहीं बताता है कि हमारे यहाँ यूनिटी उस लेवल पर नहीं है. थैंक यू मैम. मैं अब अपने किसी पार्टिसिपेंट से कहूँगा कि वो वोट ऑफ थैंक दे.
सर सॉरी, ये सवाल आपके लिए शायद मैंने कुछ वक्त कम ही दिया है.
Propose the vote of thanks.
जी.
डॉक्टर रश्मि अख्तर. नहीं तो कोई और कोई भी वॉलंटियरी. उधम सिंह. डॉक्टर उधम सिंह.
सर मैं वॉशरूम में हूँ सर.
Nikita Sharma, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am, for such an informative, elaborate, and to the point presentation, and for giving us all the knowledge and details, and even the slides for the appropriate websites where we can find all the data, and even teach our students where to help and guide them in the procedure. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
जी, बेहद शुक्रिया इस मौके के लिए अशरफ साहब. तो मैं फिर विदा लेती हूँ. ओके, खुदा हाफिज.
पार्टिसिपेंट्स हम लोग 5:45 में फिर मिलेंगे. सेकेंडली